Are you here for the pantry declutter or organize, or for the pantry moths? Well, I'm going to talk about both. In this video, you are going to see how I organize my pantry, and we're going to talk about those pantry moths, how to get rid of them, or avoid them if you don't have them. Or even worse, how to know you actually have them. I have done something I don't normally do, and I have gone and purchased some items. So these are really cool. You can see they've got some air holes over here. And I like that when it's in, it's open over here, and I can put all my stuff inside. That's really awesome. Potatoes, onions. These are also really cool. I like that they can hang on a shelf. So you would push that onto your shelf. And then your storage would be over here, and you still got space underneath to pack stuff if your shelf is a high shelf. So that's really cool. This is your 2-tier storage drawers. As you can see, they're using it for coffee items or whatever. If I don't use this one in my pantry, I'm probably going to use it under the sink. I think it's going to work really well there for all my cleaning stuff. But let's see first, I may still get it into the pantry. These are your wide and stackable with rollers. They have some rollers at the bottom, but I see this side doesn't. I think they connect to each other, but I just got one of them. I don't really need a lot. This is going to be the one up in the top for the kids' snacks. So I'm talking about things like these bars that you could just put neatly in there, or if you buy bulk chips like these, you can also just put them inside and slot them in. But anyways, I'll show you how I'm going to utilize these things shortly. Let's go and have a look at what my pantry looks like and what I'm dealing with. I thought I'd give you a close-up. So up there is where I keep all the stuff for the kids for school. That's coffee, it needs to be filled. And then on the second shelf is just random. I mean, it's sauce, baking, flour, sugar, you name it. And then here I've got all my dry cereals and rice, cookies, you name it. I mean, look at that. You can't even get in here anymore. It's driving me insane. And then on this shelf is more snacky stuff. I mean, you can see there's noodles thrown in with chips. There's onions lying there, juice boxes. And down here it gets even worse. This is bottles and onions and potatoes. This is not how a storage solution should look. And I'm done. It's got to be sorted. Okay, I have wiped out this pantry and given it a very good clean. One thing I wanted to mention to you, I did look out for pantry moths. This is something that a lot of homes really struggle with. And I thought, since we're doing a pantry clean, let's talk about pantry moths. How do you get them? Well, it's quite easy. Store-bought items, especially in cardboard, they love to sit and infest inside the cardboard. And then you bring them into your home, put them in the cupboard. Sometimes you don't open it straight away, and they just breed a little bit inside there until they are ready to escape and get into your cupboard. Then they get into the next thing and the next thing. They love dry ingredients. I have checked and I don't have any. So let me tell you guys how to deal with this problem. Number one, first you need to see if you actually have a problem. Go into your pantry and take out your cardboard items and have a look inside. If you have a look in the grooves, they like to make a little cocoon in like a little web on the side. So you'll see them pretty clearly if they are inside that packaging. The other thing is sometimes they're already in your dry ingredients before you pre-package them into sealed containers, like this. I love to put a lot of my dry ingredients in here because then I know it stays safe. And have a look and see if you see them. They like to nest inside there. That's another way to find them. The other way is by seeing them crawling around. Also, if you have items like this, make sure it's sealed before I do this. If you turn it upside down, this is probably not the best to show you, but unfortunately I don't have anything else in this kind of packaging that I can show you this with. But if this was something like oats, you would see at the top here, some of the oats would be hanging there, or wheat picks for instance. That is another one. If you see it all sticking together up in the corner here to a web, you know you've got them. So there is a way to get rid of them. Unfortunately, you're probably going to have to throw most your pantry items out. Anything in cardboard, anything in paper packaging, as I showed you before. You can just use some hot soapy water to wash out your cupboards. But you are going to have to get into every little groove. Where the screw goes in, if there's a hole in there for a dowel stick, any little piece of your cupboard that is showing needs to be cleaned thoroughly. 4 times with hot soapy water at least. And then hopefully after that, they should be clear. If you want to go a step further, you can add some peppermint drops into the last batch of water before you clean, so that it gives that nice smell, and apparently it keeps them away. You can freeze your dry ingredients in the freezer for 2 days and then put them in plastic or glass containers before you store them. If you want to do something a little extra just to ensure they don't come into your pantry, get some cedar wood or even some bay leaves. If you put that inside your cupboard, it will deter them. One thing to remember is not to play around with these guys. A mother can lay up to 400 eggs at a time, and these things can live for 30 to 300 days. Imagine how many times that mother can lay eggs in that time. I think we've had enough of pantry moths for one day. Let's get back to this pantry because I'm dying to see what it's going to look like. What I have done is I have just roughly where I want everything. So I put the big plastic one up there. I put this one over here. It's the only shelf it's really going to fit on. And then that slide in one I've put here. There will be space behind it, but I could put something behind it that I have lots of that I'm not going to use regularly, especially things that you're using to refill with. And then at the bottom over there, I've put the onion and potato drawers. I'm going to quickly put all the stuff back in the cupboard and show you the end result. And there you have it. I am done. Let me show you guys what I've done. On the top over here, I added that long one, and I have put all the chips and some marshmallows in there. There are some shapes in here, but that's fine. We can class that as chips. I've put all the bulk sauces at the top, behind, and the coffee beans are filled and put them up here too. Behind that, stuff that we don't really use, there is some vinegar there, some oils, and some balsamic vinegar. Thought that could stay back there, and as you can see, there's the other bulk sauces. So that's the top one. And then on the side, I've put some sugars, all the toppings the kids use on their ice creams. I have labeled, as you can see, they have said baking. Here I put bulk sauces because when my husband's in the kitchen, he'll need to find things, and I have labeled that. Moving down to the next drawer, I have used the double shelf here. I've put the noodles and some on-the-go snacks and some bars over here, and at the back I've just filled up with Oreos. Everything, as you can see, is organized. I can be a little OCD at times. Chocolate melts. And then I kept all the breadcrumbs that I was going to get rid of. I haven't labeled it because I'm going to try use this and just get rid of them. And then I've got some silver trays here for cakes. I've just put them in on the side here so that they have a space. At the back is clear, so I could probably put some stuff in the back there if I needed to. Things that are bulk that I want to use for refill later. And then on the shelf, I put all the cereals in here. A lot of them were open, so I've just taken them out the boxes and closed them up. A little trick for you guys, if you don't have anything to keep them closed, just use a peg, works well. And then in there, I've just put some cookies. And then at the bottom here, finally, I have a spot for some onions and potatoes, so they don't have to sit in their bags and just get all soggy inside. I really didn't have a spot for them. And then I've put some cordals down there. At the back of this, I have put some bottles. We are not big drinkers, but I keep being given alcohol. Maybe they think I need it. But I've just put that at the back so that it is out of the way. And I think this looks so much neater. I just used this Dynamo Tag label printer. And basically all you do is type in what you want. Once you're ready, you say print. And then it will just come out the side. Once it's out the side, you will just push the blue button and it cuts it for you. And then you're ready to go. What's nice is at the top here, it shows you how far your tags are, so you can see when the level has dropped, and you know when you need new ones. These are quite easy to get hold of. I have seen them all over the place. So very nice, handy to have. It can be a little pricey, but you know what? I use it a lot. Not just in the kitchen, but in the kids' wardrobes, everywhere. It can be really handy to have. My pantry is looking so good right now. I feel like going and buying stuff and stocking up. I have so much extra space in here. Let me know in the comments below, have you got a really bad pantry and do you struggle to sort it out? This is not one of those colorful, organized pantries. This is more of a realistic approach. You can do the whole glamorous, I have done it for a client before, but unfortunately, this is how I live and this is easier for me. If you struggle with time management because you have such a busy schedule, go check out this video where I show you how to break it down into daily, weekly, and monthly so that you can manage your time a lot better.